If there are no other questions, Ms. Cirigliano, would you please give your report?
Sure. Good evening. I'd like to begin my report again this month with a highlight of the curriculum work done by our curriculum writers and content supervisors. This month you are being asked to approve 37 curriculum, which totaled approximately 740 hours of work completed by the writers and the supervisors. To describe this task through a total number of hours does not highlight the actual work done during those hours, so I'd like to briefly discuss what happens as we're writing our curriculum. To begin, supervisors meet with the writers to introduce the Atlas platform and its functionality. There are self-paced webinars that are available for new users of the program. Dialogue occurs regarding our philosophy in curriculum writing, which follows the backward design model originally created by Grant Wiggins and Jay McTighe. Typically, curriculum designers use a forward-thinking approach to curriculum design. This is where a teacher would develop their learning activities first, proceed to outline their assessments, and finally attempt to connect those assessments to a set of learning standards. That's not how we do it in Dover. By embracing the backward design model, we begin by writing the curriculum with the end goal in mind, and we ask ourselves up front, what teaching standards will I be covering in this unit? What are the skills and what is the knowledge that my students will have after completing the work in this unit of study? Learning standards are given the first priority when we write curriculum. After identifying the necessary standards and learning goals for the unit, we move to designing the assessments that would answer the questions, how will I know if the student has learned the content and the standards that I chose for the unit? By linking the standards with the assessments, we can ensure that learning is being checked through a student demonstration of mastery. In terms of our local process, I've asked to be notified once the first unit is complete so that I can then review it and provide feedback. This would save time for all parties involved because then additional units could be created moving forward with the feedback in mind, instead of having a complete curriculum written and then review of all of that happening and feedback being given at that time. That could be a little cumbersome. After all the units are written, supervisors review it again, have more discussion with the writer about changes or enhancements that need to be made. Once that work is complete, I then review the curriculum again for any further tweaks or adjustments needed, and then move that curriculum to the curriculum committee of the board, which obviously some of you are members of, where again, additional discussion, review, and reflection can occur at that time. Changes can still be made before your final approval of any curriculum would be on the agenda. So thank you, Curriculum Committee. It was a big month for us. We had a lot of work to do. I appreciate your support in that. And we will have more curriculum on the next month's agenda, but not quite as much as we had the past 2 months. Transitioning away from curriculum to a more celebration topic, this month marks National Principals Month. Being a principal or a vice principal is a very rewarding and challenging job. Every day in the principal's office, problems are discussed and solved, challenges are met and accepted, and relationships are built and strengthened. Our principal teams go above and beyond to ensure student and staff safety, preserve the academic integrity in the building, and serve as a facilitator between students, staff, and parents. A principal's job does not end at 4 p.m. and begins much earlier than the bell ringing for the start of school. During evenings, on the weekends, and holidays, our principals and vice principals work together with staff to create schools that are warm and welcoming for instruction. Oftentimes, a principal can turn into a counselor for a frustrated teacher or a coach for a child that needs a little extra encouragement. Research shows that after a classroom teacher, a school building principal and vice principal are the next biggest contributor to that child's success. They set the mood, the tone, the culture for their school building. To celebrate National Principals Month and our principals, we are inviting our principal teams to a luncheon next week in the Belmont building. This is just one small gesture to say that we recognize your hard work, your dedication, and your consistent effort in being leaders in all of our school buildings. So thank you, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Cirigliano. Are there questions for the Assistant Superintendent? Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Cirigliano, for acknowledging the hard work that our principals do and how many different layers of our school community they can impact. Thank you.